Thriving Southland is all about inspiring community action and helping make it happen on the ground. And at the heart of it is supporting the Southland catchment groups. And we have a really special and unique network of groups across Southland. We currently have 36 groups and they keep growing in number every week, and we cover at least 85% of the Southland region.
Don Daly and Louise Cook from the Southern Dairy Hub had this really cool idea of expanding on a project that they had started a couple of years ago, looking at animal welfare and lying time. Don and Louise approached us to see if we wanted to try 2 different cropping methods on a paddock on our farm. And I kind of, me being me, I kind of sort of thought, well, hang on, our farm's, you know, just one farm. There's so many different farms and so many different soil types all over Southland. Why don't we supersize it? So we put it to the Hedgehope-Makarewar catchment group. Sort of, what do you guys think? And then it kind of grew and grew and grew and grew to 11 farms right across Southland, so all the way from Mokatoa to Mossburn to Wallacestown, and pretty much everywhere in between.
The aim of the study was to look and see whether alternative crop establishment methods like direct drill and strip till could provide better soil conditions during winter grazing. And the reason why we were interested in that was to really look at providing better outcomes for our cow welfare and in particular better lying conditions during those wet weather periods. We've gathered a lot of information across the 11 farms that were involved. So starting off with looking at the soil conditions of the different crop treatments pre-grazing. So visual soil assessments, soil moistures, those sorts of things. Also looking at the crop yields and quality, so did that change with the establishment method? And then going back in post-grazing and looking to see what changes had occurred during that winter period.
The project got broken down into 2 work streams. So we had work stream 1, which was at the Southern Dairy Hub, where they were able to do a controlled study of comparing different cultivation methods, and they had lots of technicians around and lots of very clever people who were able to monitor very, very closely. So that was a lot more sort of science orientated. And then we sort of went a little bit nuts and we sort of said, okay, well let's grab all these commercial farms, and that was work stream 2.
I guess the real value with this trial was that we had some more detailed measurements here at the Southern Dairy Hub, but then through the catchment group able to get out on farms and look at what was happening across different crop types, different land use types, and also different stock as well.
I get quite passionate about science. I'm a bit of a nerd, and I sort of thought, hey, this is a really cool opportunity for high school students or anyone who's interested to see an example of on-the-ground work that could be done in science. You know, dirt's not necessarily just dirt. There's hundreds of different soil types in Southland and combinations of those soil types, and it's never black and white. And so for the students, it was a real eye-opener for some of them to realize that, yeah, you know, there's a heck of a lot that goes into agriculture, and some really cool jobs, not necessarily milking the cows or shearing the sheep every day, but in the science side of it as well.
The key thing is attention to detail at all phases of the crop establishment and feeding process. So thinking about your paddock selection, then how do you set it up to grazing, what your management is during the winter period, so with your back fences and your portable water troughs, especially from the commercial farms, is making sure that the farm team that are on the ground know why they're doing things, and if there's a contingency plan, when that needs to be acted on and how it's going to be implemented.
Farmers have been constantly evolving. I've been involved in the industry for nearly 20 years, and every year we've tweaked something in our wintering system. The benefit has been to get some science around it rather than on farm. We can direct drill one year and conventional cultivation the next year, and we haven't run a control, and we don't know if it's just to do with how that winter went, who was shifting the fence, what day it rained. So to get this all in the same paddock, that is the beauty of this cultivation side of the experiment. In Southland, the quote I would use is that for a 3-month winter we spend 8 months getting ready for it. That 1 month we have off is a very special time.
There was a lot of people that are like, right, let's get this done. And on our farm in particular, it was a great opportunity to share this information with all sorts of people and get them on farm and get them seeing, you know, all kinds of different methods of wintering, all kinds of different, and then taking that information away back to their places or their farms and saying, okay, well, how about we try this, or they're trying this over there, let's see if it works here.
We've always been very careful about the use of the back fence and keeping it up behind cows and getting it ready before a wet period. One thing that I'd never thought of and wouldn't have tried if I hadn't seen it in practice as a volunteer in the study is actually winding the back fence up and letting them go right back to a dry piece of ground. That's been a really neat opportunity for us on farm.
I was just blown away by how passionate Southlanders and people in the community were about seeing things through and actually finding solutions, as opposed to just sort of wringing your hands and saying, woe is me.
What this study's given me hope is that with minor changes we can significantly improve outcomes for soil, animals and people.
Thriving Southland are an amazing organisation that provided us with funding for the project. There's quite a few people who work for Thriving Southland who do an incredible job just making sure that things happen and just that enabler to get ideas off the ground.
We've been really excited at Thriving Southland to be part of this pilot programme and the next steps where they're looking to get a fully funded controlled scientific study. And we are really excited about what they find out and how it helps farmers across New Zealand with their winter grazing.